केला
che sostituo al bicchiere. Niente. Che violento. So you divide by RHS. It would never change. Yes, your doubts.
70?
22nd ना उसके पहले 21st और मैंने चेक किया उसको even this is not right 18th Yes, your doubts. बोलो. Last to 21, 22. उसके पहले कोई doubt नहीं है. 18th. Cos A upon 1 plus sin A. On the right hand side, I want sec A minus tan A. So I must create a minus in the numerator. So I multiply 1 plus sin A into 1 minus sin A in both numerator and denominator. Okay? That is cos A into 1 minus sin A. This A plus B into A minus B becomes A squared minus B squared. And 1 minus sin squared A is cos squared A, right? So cos A and this cos A will get cancelled. So you are left with 1 by cos minus sin by cos. 1 by cos is, sin by cos is, next route 20. Huh? 20. 20. You got a root sign here on the left hand side. On the right hand side, you do not have a root sign. Moreover, you see on the right hand side, you have 1 plus cos A in the denominator. So you want 1 plus cos A to remain there. So you will multiply numerator and denominator by 1 plus cos A. This was because you had seen your right hand side, you wanted to keep that 1 plus cos A in the denominator. A minus B into A plus B, A squared minus B squared. And this will become A plus B the whole square. This is sin squared A by 1 plus cos A the whole square. This is squared, this is square, it will get cancelled with the square root. Sin A upon 1 plus cos A. Next out. One minus, I started with the LHS. On the right hand side, I do not see a denominator. So cos squared A, I will write as 1 minus sin squared A. A squared minus B squared is A plus B, A minus B. Cancel. 1 minus 1 plus sin A over is equal to RHS. Did you understand? Sum number 22. LHS sin A plus cos A by sin A minus cos A plus sin A minus cos A by sin A plus cos A. Crisscross denominators. When this gets multiplied by this, it will become A plus B the whole square. When this gets multiplied to this, it will become A minus B the whole square. Yes or no? I have taken the LCM. And when A minus B into A plus B gets multiplied, it will become A squared minus B squared. I'll open the bracket. A squared plus B squared plus 2AB A squared plus B squared minus 2AB. In the denominator, I can see only 2 sin squared here. I don't see cos squared here. So cos squared A I can write as 1 minus sin squared. This fellow and this fellow gets cancelled. What is sin squared A plus cos squared A? What is sin squared A plus cos squared A? Open the bracket. Two upon 2 sin squared A minus 1, 4. That's equal to RHS. Is this clear? We had finished this exercise. We have to start with the next exercise. हो गया? Again prove that unsolved exercise 21.2, sum number 1, sub question number 1, LHS cos A by 1 minus tan A plus sin A by 1 minus cot A on the right hand side. I want sin A plus cos A, है ना? मतलब मुझे ये तो क्लियर है कि मुझे लेफ्ट हैंड साइड के जो रेशियोज है tan और cot उनको सिंप्लीफाई करना है ना? सेकंड, LHS tan A upon 1 minus cot A plus cot A upon 1 minus tan A। RHS में है sec A into cosec A plus 1। देखते हैं क्या करना है। और एक तो क्लियर है कि tan और cot को we have to write it in terms of sin and cos, ठीक है नहीं? LHS 2 sin squared A plus cos raised to 4A। RHS पे क्या चाहिए हम लोग को? 1 plus sin raised to 4A। ऑब्वियसली हम इसी से शुरू करेंगे, है ना? ध्यान देना भी। इसको सिंप्लीफाई करते हैं हम। cos A by 1 minus sin A by cos A plus sin A by 1 minus cos A by sin A। Is this clear? Doubt? LCM लेंगे तो ये ऊपर चला जाएगा, है ना? है कि नहीं? इधर भी LCM लेंगे तो ये ऊपर चला जाएगा, है ना? तो ये क्या बन जाएगा? cos squared A by cos A minus sin A। आपको अगर चाहिए तो पहले LCM ले लो, फिर उसको ऊपर लेके जाइए, नहीं तो क्या आप लोग कंफ्यूज हो जाओगे, ठीक है ना? फर्स्ट टाइम कर रहे हो ना। प्लस sin A by sin A minus cos A by sin A। अभी तो ये ऊपर चला जाएगा ना? तो क्या बन गया? cos squared A by cos A minus sin A plus sin squared A by sin A minus cos A। ठीक है? नेक्स्ट है
स्क्वायर के साथ कट जाएगा cos से।
हाँ,
cos से स्क्वायर के साथ कट जाएगा।
वेरी गुड। मेरे को एक बात बता, 2 upon 2 minus 3 क्या होता है आंसर? हाँ? नहीं, ये तो कट जाएगा, तो आंसर शुड बी 1 upon minus 3। तो क्यों बोला 2 upon minus 1? जब एडिशन या सब्ट्रैक्शन होता है तो ये काट सकते हैं क्या? कभी नहीं। समझा कि नहीं? शांति 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 रखिए। 1 मिनट, किसको कुछ बोलना है बोलिए। हाँ, क्या? कौन कुछ बोला? हाँ बच्चे, इधर और इधर। वेरी गुड, बहुत बढ़िया। देखो हम कैसे सोचते हैं, अच्छा ही सोचते हैं हमेशा, क्योंकि हमें पता है कि sin squared A is 1 minus cos squared A और cos squared A is, ठीक है। फिर अगला स्टेप, ब्यूटीफुल। देखो कितनी होशियार बच्ची है हमारी क्लास में, हमें अच्छा लगा। वेरी गुड बच्ची। और इसको ऐसा लिखना चाहते हैं ना बेटा? यस और नो? वेरी गुड। और अभी क्या करेंगे? हाँ, कुछ लेना बोलना चाहते हैं? ये नहीं, ये गलत किया इसने, करेक्ट है ना? फिर नहीं, कुछ आप बोलना चाह रहे थे बीच में कुछ। वेरी गुड, मतलब क्या करूं इसको एलसीएम लूं, है ना? क्रॉस मल्टीप्लाई मतलब एलसीएम, मतलब ये नहीं करते हम लोग, क्योंकि यहां आके फंस गए हम लोग। तो इसका एलसीएम क्या होगा? क्या होगा एलसीएम? cos squared a minus sin squared, क्योंकि और इधर क्या हो जाएगा? cos squared a into sin a minus cos a plus sin squared a into cos a minus sin a। कितना बड़ा हो जाएगा, है ना? अब ध्यान से देखना, बहुत ध्यान से देखना, मैं कुछ कर रहा हूं। cos squared a by cos a minus sin a, sin squared a by cos a minus sin a। ये सेम सेम बना दिया, ये सेम सेम बना दिया। अपने चाचा का तो राज नहीं है, ऐसे ही लिख दिया कुछ भी चाहिए। तो क्या किया मैंने, इस प्लस को मैंने माइनस बनाया। देखो बच्चों ध्यान दो, अगर मेरे पास a माइनस बी है और इसको अगर मैं माइनस साइन डालता हूं तो क्या हो जाता है? माइनस ऑफ a प्लस बी, तो डज इट नॉट बिकम b माइनस a? तो if I want to convert a minus b into b minus a, I will do it by putting a minus sign outside. Yes or no? I repeat, if I want to convert a minus b to b minus a, I will do it by putting a minus sign outside. Is this clear? So that is what I have done. I wanted to convert this sin a minus cos a into cos a minus sin a. I have done it by putting a minus sign. Now why I did it? To make my life simple. क्योंकि अगर ये भी cos a minus sin a है और ये भी अगर cos a minus sin a है तो मेरे को LCM का टेंशन ही नहीं है। जब denominators are same, the numerators can be simply added or subtracted, yes or no? So here I have made the denominators same. So my next step is cos squared a minus sin squared a upon cos a minus sin a. Have you all understood? So my numerator has now become a squared minus b squared, which is a plus b into a minus b. Did you understand? Is this what I want on the RHS?
Yes.
Did you understand? ये सबसे सिंपल मेथड है करने का। अगर आप और कुछ करने की कोशिश करोगे, इसका एलसीएम लेने जाओगे, फंस जाओगे, लंबा हो जाएगा सम। Did you understand?
Yes.
लिखने को नहीं बोला, शांति रख। Have you understood this? Clear? Come to this one. Obviously, I'll simplify. Sin a by cos a, 1 minus cos a by sin a, cos a by sin a, 1 minus sin a by cos a। हमने रेशियोज को सिंप्लीफाई किया है, अभी हम एलसीएम लेने वाले हैं, ध्यान देना। sin a by cos a upon sin a minus cos a by sin a। ठीक है, प्लस cos a by sin a upon cos a minus sin a by cos a। ये ऊपर जाएगा, ये भी ऊपर जाएगा। साइन स्क्वायर ए बाय कॉस से इंटू साइन ए माइनस कॉस से। ये सब समझा सब लोग? नहीं समझा? साइन ए बाय कॉस से, राधिका न्यूमरेटर डिवाइडेड बाय डिनोमिनेटर, मतलब इनटू लिखूंगा तो ऐसे लिखूंगा कि नहीं, है ना बच्चे? सेम वे इधर अगर मैं करता हूं तो कॉस से बाय साइन ए, ये डिवीजन है, इसको हमें मल्टीप्लिकेशन बनाना है, तो क्या मैं ऐसे नहीं लिखूंगा? है कि नहीं? है कि नहीं? उज्ज्वल, अभी ये साइन ए कैंसिल, अरे ऐसे कर, अरे कॉसे कैंसिल, बस सिंपल हो जाएगा। नहीं? अब ध्यान देना बच्चों, साइन स्क्वायर ए बाय कॉस से इंटू साइन ए माइनस कॉस से, माइनस कॉस स्क्वायर ए बाय साइन ए इंटू साइन ए माइनस कॉस से। थोड़ा तो लाइफ सिंपल बनाए, इसकी तरह प्लस को क्या किया, ये दोनों को सेम बना दिया, देख रहे हो? पक्का?
प्लस है।
क्या बोली, क्या बोलती तू? किधर प्लस चाहिए तेरे को? क्या हो गया? किधर 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 क्या बोली?
So the sign has to change, right?
I changed it, no?
No, later, cos.
इधर भी? Now why did I change it there? Did I do it there? I only made a minus b to b minus a. How will it become a plus, बच्चे? The sign changed so that the order of these two terms could be changed.
Yes.
बीच का साइन नहीं चेंज करेंगे. Orders to be changed. Why did I change the order? To make my life simple, so that my LCM becomes easy. Otherwise, why should I change? अगर ये प्लस बनता है तो मेरे को और हेडेक हो जाएगा. यहाँ तक समझे? अभी इसका LCM देखो बच्चों. LCM देखना. हाँ, LCM सब लोग देख रहे हैं ना? Sin A into cos A into sin A minus cos A. And this will become sin cube A minus cos cube A. नहीं समझी जो है ना, sin cos A, ये देखो इधर एलसीएम क्या आपका sin A cos A और ये चीज है. इधर डिनोमिनेटर क्या है, सिर्फ cos A है और ये चीज है. क्या नहीं है, sin A नहीं है, तो that sin A will get multiplied here. LCM सेम में बेटा इधर आप देख रहे हो sin A और sin A minus cos A, क्या नहीं है, cos A. So cos A will get multiplied to this. सब लोगों ने 9 तो पास किया है ना? कोरोना था ठीक है, लेकिन पास तो किया है. तो a क्यूब माइनस b क्यूब का फॉर्मूला भी सुना होगा कभी ना कभी. क्या है a क्यूब माइनस b क्यूब? मास बता के बोल.
a क्यूब माइनस 2 ab प्लस b क्यूब.
बिल्कुल कोरोना का स्टूडेंट है तू. हाँ, कौन बताएगा? मैंने a क्यूब प्लस b क्यूब पूछा ही नहीं, मैंने a क्यूब माइनस b क्यूब पूछा. वेरी गुड, ये भी कोरोना का स्टूडेंट है. हाँ
Sir, in bracket a minus b and then in another bracket multiplied A square plus AB plus B square.
ब्यूटीफुल, ब्यूटीफुल, लवली। ये बच्चा पढ़ाई करता था, तेरे को याद है? डोंट माइंड ना, मस्ती कर रहा हूँ, है ना? सच भी बोल रहा हूँ, है ना? तो a cube minus b cube is a minus b into a squared plus b squared plus ab। नाइन्थ का बुक उठा के देख लेना, है ये फॉर्मूला, हाँ? The whole upon sin a cos a into sin a minus cos a. Did you all understand? Sin square plus cos square. बढ़िया। ठीक है बच्चों, ठीक है उज्जवल, yes or no? Yes. What is 1 upon sin? Cosec. What is 1 upon cos? Sec. Is this what I want? Have you all understood? Clear? Clear? 2 sin squared a plus cos raised to 4a। अपने को राइट हैंड साइड पे सब कुछ साइन में चाहिए, सब कुछ साइन में चाहिए, तो ध्यान देना, ये बहुत इजी सम है बच्चों, बहुत ही इजी सम है। Can I write this like this? Why did I write it like this? Because I know that cos squared a can be converted to 1 minus sin squared a, and I want to bring only sin squared a on the right hand side. So I'm going to write this as 2 sin squared a plus 1 minus sin squared a the whole square. This has become a minus b the whole square, which is a squared plus b squared minus 2ab। खलास, खोदा पहाड़ निकली चुई, ऐसे बोलते हैं ना लोग, कितना बड़ा लग रहा था 4 ऐसा, ये है बहुत सिंपल। चलो कंप्लीट, ठीक है? ये बात ध्यान में रखना, a माइनस b को b माइनस a बनाने के लिए हम बाहर माइनस डालते हैं, अंदर कुछ चेंज नहीं करते, खाली a माइनस b को b माइनस a, प्लस नहीं बनाते बीच में, ठीक है? everybody finished? No? Over? Cosec A minus sin A, sec A minus cos A, and we want only RHS 1 upon
tan A plus cot A.
tan A plus cos A. ठीक है? Cosec को कैसे लिखते हैं? Sec को कैसे लिखते हैं? LCM लेंगे? LCM लेंगे? What is 1 minus sin squared A? ठीक है ना? What is 1 minus cos squared A? क्या बचता है? खत्म तो नहीं हुआ, क्या बचा? sin A into cos A. क्या कर सकते हैं? क्या कर सकते हैं? RHS पे जाएंगे. क्या है RHS पे? है ना? tan A क्या होता है? cot A क्या होता है? LCM ले सकते हैं क्या? Yes or no? ये ऊपर जाएगा? From 1 and 2, LHS is equal to RHS. Did you understand? खलास. मैंने शुरू में बोला था, हमेशा जरूरी थोड़ी कि LHS से ही आंसर मिलेगा. हमेशा ये थोड़ी जरूरी कि हमें LHS से ही शुरू करना है. हम RHS से भी शुरू कर सकते हैं. और हमेशा ऐसे भी नहीं हो सकता कि LHS सॉल्व करने से RHS बन जाएगा. नहीं बना था. इससे सिंपल में बना ही सकता हूँ, तो मैं RHS पे चला गया. Before I forget, mark your homework. From question number 1, classwork questions, sum number 5. Okay. Then from homework questions, question number 1. Question
हाँ जो उसके भाग है, मैंने सिर्फ क्वेश्चन नंबर 1 दिया है, बाकी वो उसके सब क्वेश्चंस है ना, तो आपको क्वेश्चन नंबर 1 अगर कंप्लीट करने बोलूंगा तो बाकी भी तो कंप्लीट होगा क्या नहीं, ठीक है ना। क्या है कि अभी बीच में संडे आ रहा है, बोर हो जाओगे ऐसे बैठे बैठे। So we'll stop for the day. Thank you very much. Bye and good night.
Bye, sir. Thank you.
Actually, हमारा class science commerce is तो हम लोग A section में जाते हैं और वो लोग B section में आते हैं, दो ही section मतलब 36 एक class में
एक साथ बैठते हैं, जैसे ही कॉमर्स का शुरू होगा क्लास स्प्लिट हो जाएगी। अच्छा नहीं
मैंने इसको बोला हमारा भी स्टार्ट किया है ये भी फेवरेट चैप्टर
ये अपने स्कूल में
वो वाला कौन सा फेयरवेल का है होमवर्क किया न्यूमेरिकल सारे
कि
मैं कैसे लिखा अरे वर्सेंट ऑफ फिजिक्स कब हो गया पता है वर्सेंट ऑफ फैक्ट 3 और एक्ट 4 है बाकी फैक्ट मंडे से क्लास चालू सेकंड वीक ऑफ कौन
हमारा तो स्कूल में फिजिक्स भी चालू है
हमारा चार चैप्टर वो यूनिफॉर्म सर्कुलर मोशन सेपरेट चैप्टर भी अरे लोग हुआ नहीं है वो अभी फिर से स्टार्टिंग से ले रहे हैं ये कोर्स वाला हो गया बस तो ही हुआ अरे हमारा क्या है मैं अरे ये और यूनिफॉर्म सर्कुलर मोशन एक चैप्टर हमें दो अलग अलग
Theoretical level.
वैसे दो ही हुआ है
Good evening, everybody. So, last lecture was more than a month ago, right? Almost a month ago. So, you had enough time, so I think you must have gone through all the numericals. So, any issues with numericals?
सर दो बच्चों ने किसी ने चेक्स लाए हैं क्या? हाँ मुझे दे दो और इससे जाते वक्त कलेक्ट कर लो। पीछे नाम और नंबर लिखा है? नहीं। तो लिखो। स्टूडेंट नाम।
सिद्धांत? हाँ? सोहम.
नहीं आपका लिखा
So, where did we stop in the last class?
so we did the complete section A.
Complete section A. Okay. What about section B, center of gravity?
We can start. We will be starting that way. Thank you sir.
Ma'am,
So, force, I think we did what all we have done. We have done effect of force. Then we did moment of force. And we also did couple. We did equilibrium.
Principle of movements.
Yes. Principle of moments. Right. I think I introduced center of gravity. So at least, do you have any difficulty here till principle of moments?
No.
So let me explain what is center of gravity. Okay, and then we'll take up some numericals. So, so let's define what is center of gravity. It is a point, right? Center of gravity of a body. It is a point at which the entire weight of the body is assumed to be concentrated. Okay, this is one definition of center of gravity. So what does it mean? Suppose we have an irregular shaped body, very potato. Right? If I say its center of gravity is this point, right? If I say the center of gravity of this object is at this point, then I can actually balance it or hold it at a support on this point. Like if I know the CG of the notebook, I can balance it at the tip of my finger, right? Let us say this is a notebook or any rectangular wooden plank, let us say. If I know that its CG is over here, right? So I can actually balance it on a tip of a nail. I can do that, or tip of my finger. Right? Why I can do that? Because I am assuming the weight of the the entire body is actually here. So I can imagine that instead of this extended object, it is reduced into a point. Just imagine in my imagination, right? So I can balance it. Let's say if this is a pen, right? And if I know that its CG is over here means when I cut it like this and cut it. So wherever the both cuts meet at the center exactly, like on the axis, midpoint of the axis, then I can balance this pen over here. Okay? So then this form of pen is immaterial if I know what is the CG. Wow. Good experiment. Okay. So this is understood, right? What is the significance of CG, right? So I also explained for the stability of the body, right? Where should be the CG? Like if I give you an example of a car and a bus, right? Let us say this is the bus. Which is better riding experience, a bus or a car? Car. Why? Comfortable, right? And which can take turn at a high speed, bus or a car? What happens if bus also tries to take a turn at a high speed? It will topple, right? So what happens is, where would be the CG of the bus? It will be somewhere here at the midpoint. Right? And where would be the CG of the car? So it is generally at the diagonal. Top point and the bottom point diagonal, then from here top point and the bottom point. Wherever it intersects, that's where the CG is. Okay? And center of gravity also depends on the shape of the object and mass distribution. Wherever is maximum mass concentrated, center of gravity will be there. So it is at the middle, right? So if you see the car from behind like this is the back side of the car, right? So it will be at the center of the seat, somewhere here. Okay. So when is it more stable? Like, what is the center of gravity of human? I explained last time. Okay. So imagine you cut me into two equal pieces vertically, like this, and then like this. Imagine, I have a Superman, only a line going and intact. So where the both cuts meet, it will meet somewhere, right? Horizontally, right? So there are three cuts you make, three cuts. This, and this. So wherever they meet, right? So it will somewhere here, navel and genital, in between somewhere, but inside. Imagine the circle, center of. Now look at the feet, okay? So if I lean like this, I am stable for some time, which means my CG is within the foot area. Because what is happening is CG is the place where earth is pulling me. If I am a point object, my CG is that object. So earth is pulling me, but my feet are holding it. The moment my CG goes out of toe, I will fall flat. Right? Now I know. So my CG is come out. So stability of the body is decided by the CG placement. So if the CG is closer to the ground, then those objects will be more stable. It will be difficult to topple them. Like if this pen is like this, okay? Its CG is somewhere here. So this is the base which is holding it, because earth is pulling, but it is not falling down. Right? If it was plain, then it would be very. But now its CG is coming outside the base. Therefore it is toppled. Okay? So CG, now in this case, is it toppling? No. But now imagine. Okay, the CG is up now. So orientation, shape, everything decides the CG. CG is fixed for this. It is somewhere here. Somewhere here, right? So when the CG is like this, CG is closer to ground. It is stable. It's not toppling. But now CG is up. So little bit of inclination is toppling. Understood the significance of CG? Okay. So if it is toppling, that means there is a moment of force. Isn't it moment of force? So if I imagine this was the total weight, if I imagine that this is made up of so many constituent particles, right? So let us say potato is an element, so all its constituent atom would be identical. So they will all have weight, say W. Okay? So all these elements are pulled by W. So there will be moment of force by all the weights on the right of the CG. Also there will be moment of force by all the weights on the left of the CG. Right? So if it is balanced, that means now let me draw a simple diagram. Let us say this point was CG. So resultant of all these moments I am representing by W on the left, okay, and this W on the right. Now this is in equilibrium. Therefore, WL is equal to W right, or sum WL minus WR is equal to 0. So in this form, how do I define CG? CG of an object is a point about which the sum of moments of the constituent particle is 0. Is that the definition in the book for CG?
Yes.
Read the definition.
The center of gravity CG of a body is the point about which the algebraic sum of moments of weights of all particles constituting the body is 0.
समझ आ गया? बता.
Here there is a different definition.
What is the different definition?
It is the point to which the entire weight of the body acts, and the sum of the
That is this definition. Entire weight of the body. And
constituting the body is 0.
which is the second definition. To understand the second definition, I explained all this. Read the second definition. There are two definitions given together. Read the second definition loud.
Position of ST of body depends on distribution. CG of body shift towards the region of greater mass of the body.
Come on, you're reading different things. That means you're somewhere else when I was teaching. Read the definition of CG according to this explanation.
CG may lie with
Give me the volume. Volume.
Sir.
CG is very important for stability, okay? You better understand it.
position of CG.
So the first point, it is the point through which the entire weight of the body acts. Okay? This is the first definition. Here. And उसके बाद में क्या लिखा है? Algebraic sum of moments of weights of particles constituting the body is 0. This is the second definition. In the same statement, there are two definitions. And के बाद में the second thing which I was explaining. Okay? So what I suggest is also follow your textbook. Okay? Then you will understand it completely. Because this is good for revision. But for complete understanding, follow the textbook also. Okay? So has everybody understood this definition of CG? So statement you write from your textbook. From textbook. Previous textbook. Okay. Now, one more thing to note about CG is CG of the body changes with change of shape and mass distribution. Right? So I am erasing the left side. Can I erase this one?
Yes.
CG of the body changes with change of shape of the body and mass distribution. So let us understand. So body. Let's say you have a ring, right? So what is the position of, so what is the shape now? Shape of the ring is like this. Let us say I have placed it horizontally, okay? So this is the ring, right? Where is its CG? At the geometric center. CG is at geometric center, or just say center, whatever. Right? If it is a disk, so how do we represent a disk? The top surface and then this. So this is completely filled with mass, okay? So again the CG is center, geometric center. Geometric center or center is the same thing. The difference between ring and disk is clear. So the CG may lie in the body or outside of it. For disk, it is inside the body. Whereas for ring, it is not lying on the body, it is outside. Now how will you balance ring? How will you balance ring? So if you put a ring, it will just get inserted into
So
it.
sideways.
Yes, you can balance it like sideways also. Let us say you hang the ring on a nail like this. So it will hang, right? So when you are hanging the ring like this, then the line will pass through the CG. So there are various ways in which you can hang. One is this, right? This line is passing, this nail line is passing through the CG. The other ways is if you want to balance it like this, so you can tie with thin wires. Now those thin wires weight will be negligible as compared to the weight of the ring. Then you can hold it there, like your bike, motorcycle wheels. It has spokes. So the mass of the spoke is negligible as compared to the mass of the wheel. So it can be balanced at the center. Okay? Understood? So whenever you hang the object, okay, the horizontal line going towards the earth would always pass through the CG. Remember this fact. Whenever questions are asked, you have to answer. What is the third object? Let us say you have a triangle. Triangle is intersection of medians, right? So if you have any triangle, so median is from vertex to midpoint of the opposite side. So wherever these medians meet, that is the CG. Okay. So this is one extra diagram I am erasing it. So intersection CG at intersection of medians. Right. Fourth, what about say rectangle, square, Right? So it is at the intersection of diagonals. Right? Rhombus, anything. So any such thing will have its CGS at intersection of diagonals. Clear? Now fifth, hollow cone. Sixth, solid cone. Okay. Then you have seventh, cylinder. Cylinder is hard. Here also you can have hollow and solid. So how would a hollow cone look like? So for a hollow cone, I am showing the full circle. Full circle, I mean the full base is shown here. Okay? This is a hollow cone. So where is the CG? CG is at h by 3. Let us say this is the height of the cone. So it is at the height 1/3 of h. So this height is divided into 3 parts. Then this is where the CG lies. Okay? So it will be opposite. So from the vertex, the line that joins the center of the base, on that line, it is at the height 1 by 3. For solid cone, it is at the height h by 4. Solid cone means the mass is completely filled. This is full. Okay? So it is at h by 4. On which line? On this line. So which is more stable? The solid cone or hollow cone? Huh?
Solid one.
Solid is more stable. Why? Because the CG is close to the ground. Difficult to topple. Okay? So this is more stable. Right? What about cylinder and a rod? So cylinder is this kind of an object. What is the axis of cylinder? So it is at the midpoint of the axis. So for cylinder it is at the midpoint of axis of cylinder. Okay? Understood? Like in this case, you can see this center, right? When you put a line like this, and at the midpoint, wherever those things meet, that point. So at midpoint of axis of cylinder. What about a rod or a scale? So if you take a wire or a rod, then it is at the midpoint. Okay? At the midpoint. That's how you are able to balance the pen at the midpoint. Okay. So any questions on the CG? Just let me know. So the second note here, I missed it. CG may or may not lie on the object. Right? Like in case of ring, there is one more object I forgot. The solid and hollow sphere. Hollow or solid sphere. Right? Again at geometric center. Geometric center. So there are almost 9-10 objects. So hollow and solid sphere are combined. Right? It is at the geometric center. So this also you have to be careful. CG may or may not lie on the object. Whose book is your book? Oh, you will be reading that again. Now we will be solving the tables. Yes. So in front of rod, okay, you write rod or scale, because most of the questions are on scale, right? So scale, there would be CG of scale
At the midpoint.
at the midpoint, that means at 50 centimeter mark. Okay, so always remember that. Erase the right side. Can I erase the right side of the board?
Yes.
So what is the learning from CG discussion? Whenever the body is balanced at CG, right? It is in equilibrium. Isn't it? Because it follows the equilibrium condition. It is not moving anywhere, so force is zero. It is not turning on any side, so moment on left side is balancing the moment on right side. So both conditions of equilibrium are satisfied. So whenever the body is balanced at CG, it is in equilibrium. Remember that. Since delta summation F is zero, moment of force is zero. Both equilibrium conditions are satisfied whenever the body is balanced at center of gravity. Is everybody done writing?
Yes.
Okay. So it says a uniform meter scale is in equilibrium as shown in the diagram, right? So this is a uniform meter scale, right? And it is in equilibrium. Where is it CG? It should be at 50, right? Because we know for scale its CG is at 50 centimeter. So it is not mentioned, but you have to conclude because it is a scale, its CG will be over here. That means the weight of the scale will act at 50 centimeter mark. Okay? So if I am not hanging this weight 40 gram, then the scale would be balanced at 50 centimeter because its CG is at the center, right? But now what I have done, I have shifted the scale on the right side. So ideally it should have tilted because of weight of the scale, right? But I did not let it tilt because I hang 40 gram weight over here, 40 gram force on the left side. So it is balanced. Okay. So now the first part of the question is calculate the weight of the meter scale. Right. So now this is in equilibrium. So in equilibrium what happens? By principle of moments.
Some moment is equal to sum of the.
Yes. So anti-clockwise moment at equilibrium. So this is in the question it is given that the body is in equilibrium. So therefore sum of anti-clockwise moment should be equal to, so given at equilibrium. It is given in the question, right? That this object is in equilibrium in this situation. But what is not given is the weight. So this you have to infer. Okay? This was not given, but you have to infer. Sum of the anti-clockwise moment should be equal to sum of clockwise moment. Right? Now this sum would be applicable when there are more weights. Right now only one weight is there. Okay? So sum की बजाय anti-clockwise moment should be equal to clockwise moment. Anti-clockwise moment on the left is equal to clockwise moment on the, sorry, this is on the right. Huh? This is clockwise and this is anti-clockwise. Right? So anti-clockwise moment on the left should be equal to clockwise moment on the right side. So right now, what is the anti-clockwise moment?
25 into 40.
Sorry?
25 into 40.
Yes, 30 minus 5. And on this side it is this much, right? This is the moment now. So this is 30 minus 5 into 40 gram force. 30 minus 5 is centimeter, right? Into 40 gram force. This is equal to, what is the clockwise moment? 50 minus 30. Into W. W is what we need to find out. Therefore, W is equal to, so simplify, this is 25 centimeter into 40 gram force is equal to 20 centimeter into W. So centimeter is gross, over W is equal to 25 into 40 gram force divided by divided by 20. So this will be 50 grams. Okay. So the weight of the scale is 50 grams.
So which question is this?
Oh, this is question 5 I wrote. It is 3. Sorry. 5 page and third question. So from the diagram you should have figured out. Is everybody okay now? Question 3. So first part is calculate the weight of the meter scale. This is how we calculate it. So most of these type of questions, the situation would be that the object is in equilibrium. Then you have to equate the moments and find out the unknown value. So anybody has difficulty understanding what we have done? Huh? Feel free to ask and don't be shy. Feel free to ask. So if you don't, I would assume everybody has understood. Okay? Okay. Who will do the next part of the question? Read the next part of the question. What is the next part? Now this 40 gram force weight is shifted at 0. It is shifted here. Then it will remain in equilibrium or it will be disturbed? Disturbed. The anti-clockwise moment would increase. Therefore, this scale would try to tilt like this. Isn't it? So, what is the question? Which of the following option is correct to keep the ruler in equilibrium when 40 gram weight is shifted to 0 centimeter? Now it is saying, where should this support move? This pivot move to keep the scale in equilibrium. Isn't it? F is shifted towards 0 centimeter or F is shifted toward 100 centimeter. What you should do? Since left side moment has increased, I have to decrease the moment. So I cannot do anything with the weight. So to decrease, I will reduce the perpendicular distance. So it has to be shifted towards left, towards 0. So which option is that? Yeah. Okay, have you understood? Why are we selecting that option? Because we have to keep the ruler in equilibrium only. So if you move this weight on the left, you have to also move this fulcrum or the support or pivot on the left side. Okay? Okay, now we will take numericals on page 9. The class one. Anybody wants me to explain what we have done? Shall I proceed? Okay. Go to page 9. Class for numericals. Okay. We'll do question number 1. So a nut is opened by a wrench of length 10 centimeter. If the least force required is 5 Newton, find the moment of force. So you have a wrench, right? And you are trying to open a nut, right? So least force would be when you apply at the farthest distance from the nut, let us say at this distance. So F is given to you as 5 Newton and this is 10 centimeter. So what is 10 centimeter? 0.1 meter. So you have to keep all the units in SI. So moment of force will be Therefore, moment of force will be 0.1 into 5, which is 0.5. Right? So for this diagram it will be anti-clockwise. Right? But you need not mention because it is not asked. Or the situation is not shown, so it's okay. Okay. What about the second question? The wheel of diameter 2 meter is shown with axle at 0. So axle means it is the pivot. This is the wheel and the axle is at O. What is the diameter of the wheel? 2 meter. So therefore the radius will be 1 meter. Okay. And the force is applied here. Force is equal to, how much is the force? 2 Newton. So what is asked? Calculate the moment of force about the center O and point A. So this is point A. At center O is so this tau means I had explained what is tau? Moment of force. So at O I am writing at O. So what is the perpendicular distance? 1 meter into 2 Newton. So this will be 2 Newton meter. And now the direction is shown in the diagram. So what is it? Clockwise. Okay. Second, what is the torque about point A? Now if this force, now if point A is fixed, right? I have removed this pivot, now I have put it here. So then it will be diameter, right? Yeah, 2 meter into 2 meter. Thus this will be 4 Newton meter clockwise. Right? Everybody understood? So this should be simple. Then question 3. So you have a situation shown like this. This is 10 Newton. This is 10 Newton. This is 4 meter, right? So this is the midpoint. So this will be 2 meter. This also will be 2 meter. So to find the magnitude of resultant moment of force about the point O. This is point O. Right? So let's call F1 is equal to 10 and this is F2 is equal to 10. Both forces are same. So what will be resultant moment? So therefore P resultant is equal to and P2. There are two moments of forces, right? So each are turning it anti-clockwise. Moment of force about O due to first force is tau 1. And moment of force due to the second force is tau 2. Okay, so this is the resultant. PR is the resultant moment. So what is tau 1? So what is the distance of this force from O to 2 into 10 plus 2 into 10. This also, both are same. So it will be 4 into 10. This is 40 Newton meter. And what is the sense of rotation? Anti-clockwise. Okay. What is given in the volume? So which is correct? So what is given in the volume is wrong. So some answers might be printed wrong. So you have to have the confidence. Okay. So you just change it. It should be anti-clockwise in the volume. So that is couple. So if it was asked for a couple, answer is correct, right? But they are asking to tell you the resultant moment. So resultant moment is also moment of couple. So you are right. So what he is saying is, can we not do it like PR is equal to 4 into 10, one of the force into the perpendicular distance between the forces. So this is also correct. 40 Newton. Okay. But to explain you the resultant moment, so both moments are in the same direction, and this is anti-clockwise. So it is positive, positive. So they will get added. That is the resultant. Okay, total moment. Next. Uniform meter rule. So we came to again meter rule problem. What is it? Question 4. Uniform meter rule is pivoted at its midpoint. So this time it is pivoted at midpoint. That means it is pivoted at 50 centimeters. So in meter rule problem, immediately you mark 0, 50 and 100, right? And also where it is balanced, where is it balanced? Pivoted. So you put a support there. A weight of 50 gram force is suspended at one end of it. So let us say one end we are taking left as the one end. So a 50 gram force weight is suspended here. Okay, this is a 50 gram force. Right? In the downward direction. So either you show the weight or you can just show the down arrow. Arrow is better because it gives you the sense of rotation. Where should the weight of 100 gram force should be suspended to keep the rule horizontal? That means to keep the rule in equilibrium. So without weight it was balanced because it was at CG. Now when you put this weight, obviously it will turn in this side. So I have to balance it, I have to hang the weight somewhere here. Let us say I am hanging the weight over here. Okay, how much weight is hanged? 100 gram force. And let us say it is at X mark. I don't know where we have to hang. So that it will produce a moment in this direction and it will balance it. So that again it is equilibrium. So at equilibrium, what is the condition? At equilibrium, क्या होता है? Anti-clockwise moment should balance clockwise moment. Anti-clockwise moment should be equal to clockwise moments. Okay. So what is anti-clockwise moment? So yes. So 50 minus 0 is 50 into 50. This is ground force. This is equal to. So this is x minus 50. I don't know what is x. Centimeter into 100 ground force. So now ground force gets cancelled. So I have 50 centimeter into 50 is equal to 100x minus 5,000. Let's take x minus 50 divided by 100. This is 25 centimeter is equal to x minus 50. So this gives x is equal to 25 plus 50 centimeter. This is x is equal to 25 plus 50 is equal to 75 centimeter. So the weight should be hanged at 75 centimeter bar. So if on one end if it is 50, then 75 is where? 25 centimeter from the other end. Right? That is 100 gram force has to be at 25 centimeter from other end. ठीक है? So basically तुमको बस ये equation solve करना है. That's it. ये सारे questions equilibrium के you can solve with this, right? And you have to be smart in yes, you should be smart in applying the CG concept. If this support is here, then there will be moment because of the center of gravity. That is the weight of the scale. बस वहीं पे गलती होती है, क्योंकि CG के बारे में बोलता नहीं है. ठीक है? So you have to figure out where CG तो होगा mid point पे. That's what you have to figure. So we have how much more time?
3 minutes.
3 minutes. Okay. Right. So 5 is also similar. Okay, you can do yourself. Let me try 6th one. Question 5 is similar, okay? Do yourself. So question 5 is do it yourself. Question 6. What is question 6? The uniform meter rule of weight 10 gram force is pivoted at its 0 mark. So you have a meter scale, right? Now what is given in the question that it is pivoted at the 0 mark itself, right? And what is the weight of the scale? 10 GF. That means where will it act? Weight of the scale is given. That means this will act here at 50. Right? this is the situation. So first part is what moment of force depresses the rule. So obviously it will turn the scale like this, right? So what is the moment of force? First question. Force that depresses the rule clockwise is equal to how much it would be? 50 into 10 gram, right? So this is centimeter, right? So this would be 500 gram per centimeter clockwise, okay? Which means right? So what is the second part of the question? So second part is how can it be made horizontal by applying the least force, right? So it is going down, so I have to make it horizontal, so I have to apply a force. Least force will be at the maximum distance away. So I have to apply the least force at 100 centimeter mark in this direction. So how much was clockwise? 500. So here I have to apply 5 gram force in the upward direction at 100 centimeter. Got it? Because then 5 into 100 is and it will turn anti-clockwise. Oh my God. So this clockwise will be balanced by 500 anti-clockwise. What is the answer? So 5 gram force upward at 100 centimeter or other end, right? Other end of the scale. Oh yeah, okay. So I think it was. So we'll do the remaining questions in the next class. Okay. I think there is one topic C remaining on UCM. So we complete that and do the remaining.
आगे तो ऑनलाइन